Hey everybody, it's Rob Nazarian with Talk Android, and we're looking at Privacy Manager. Now I know there is a lot of privacy type apps out there. I know a lot of people like to lock images or maybe apps from being viewed on your device, but Privacy Manager is fairly new and does a lot of different things. There's also a password manager as well. You can disguise phone calls and text messages as well as fake phone calls, and there's even a recorder. All pretty cool stuff. Now there's also what's called a private space, and each area has its own password. And I'll show you that in a second. You can change the passwords when you first go into them. It'll prompt you to set a password, and I just set it up as QWERTY to keep things simple here. So now this is the private space, and this is where you can take a contact, for example, and lock in, make their phone calls and text not visible. Now so you can go into contact here and add a contact, and there's a number of ways you can add them by inputting the phone number or going through your contacts and call logs and whatever, even your SIM card. I'm just going to go through the SMS messages, and I'll go ahead and hit OK here, and it will say, do you want to move the existing stuff over? And this could take several minutes, but that won't be the case here because there's only a couple of example messages. And so now that is moved over, and if I go to the SMS messages, there they are, and you can see the example text messages. Now I do have to preface this by saying I did have a little bit of a problem with this. This is the only area I did have a problem with the app. Thankfully I don't really need to use this, but when you do send text messages out from this phone to the contact, it works, but when you receive one, I was getting a forced close, and it wasn't really it wasn't bringing the message into here where it's not visible. Also, I found that the phone calls from the call log was also visible in the main call logs. So it could be different from different phones. I'm using a Galaxy S4 here. I did test it on a Galaxy S3 as well, but I just want to preface that. But there's a lot of other cool things with this app. So you can go in and edit and add different numbers and all that good stuff. And there's a lot of settings that you'll find in this app for all kinds of stuff. So you can always go through those too. I'm not going to go through each of those. Now and then also here it'll tell you if it's blocked phone calls. How many have been blocked. You can also set up blocking as well. So you can set up any number the same way, do it from your contacts or put a phone number in. You can add phone numbers. And what's really cool is you can whitelist or blacklist. So your blacklist is obviously anybody that you don't want included, but you have your whitelist as well. And what happens is you can set up blocking rules. And you can, like, for example, let's say you're going to bed. It's kind of cool. Why would you have a whitelist, you'd say? Because you just create a blacklist. But no, the whitelist is cool because you can put, say, like 2 or 3 important people in your whitelist, and then tap that when you go to bed. And then you can leave your phone still on if you want without having to turn off the ringer. And that way, if that person calls you in the middle of the night, you figure it might be an emergency, and then that call will go through. So you can say only whitelist if you want for those select people. But most of the time you would use the blacklist. So that's pretty cool. And of course, anything that's been blocked will be visible here. Calls will go directly to voicemail. Now the image locker is pretty self-explanatory. Again, another password for this area. And you can go in here and set up any images that you want to lock, and you just tap on them, and you're good to go. It works perfectly. And let's see here. I'll take this image here, and I'll go ahead and lock it, and it's been successfully locked. It tells you that. Just hit OK, and then I'll go back, and then let's actually go to the gallery. Where are you, gallery? There you are. It's not visible at all, and I guess I probably should have shown it being visible to begin with, but here's the camera pictures here. Actually, it's a picture that was way down here, but it's definitely not visible. it would be right around this area here. If you remember looking at the thing, it was between these two pictures of my son, around that area. So the picture is unavailable. That was a drama shot that I did. So that works perfectly. So let's just go back to Privacy Manager. And then the app locker, again, I set it as the same password. And you can set, basically all your apps are going to show that are on the device, and you can just tap to lock. Let's say I'll lock Speed Test. You can lock a number of them, and you can also check out system apps as well. So Speed Test is going to be locked now, and let's just go out here and find Speed Test. There it is, and it asked me for the password, and I'll have to put it in. Of course, I can display the password, and I'm in the app. Now here's what's really cool. Let me just open up the Play Store for a second to give get another app open. You would think now that sometimes there's bugs with these things. You go to your Task Manager and you go to a previews, you think that maybe you can bypass it. You still get the password, so that's pretty cool. Very good. And then you're into the app. So go back to Privacy Manager, and now the Password Manager. Again, another password. And again, to make things easy, you can make them all the same or make them different. I just set up an example one here, AAA website, and put down an account name and a password. You can set up all kinds of different accounts, your Amazon account or whatever, any logins that you want, to keep them right here. Because I always encourage people to use different passwords. Stop using the same password for everything. So you have a simple password manager here. Now, I'm not sure I'd really recommend this. I would really prefer something like M-Secure or Password Genie. It's a lot more robust, but for the casual user, it's a nice addition to have for this on this app, and you can go ahead and use it. Oops, just hit the back key there, and I got into fake call. We're going to get into that in a second. All right, so now that's the password manager. Now we're going to discuss disguising a call. Now this is a situation where you take a contact, and let's say you're going to be in a meeting and you know someone's going to call you, but you don't want anybody to know it's that person that's calling you. You can make it look like it's someone different. So let's say your wife's going to call or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and add a contact. And again, this is very similar to what we saw in the private area. You can add it by, SMS log or whatever. And I'm actually going to go into contacts in this particular one. And actually I'm going to go ahead and, because I don't want to show all my numbers, I'm going to do it here quickly. I'm going to edit out here. Alright, I added the contact, and I just didn't want to show my different phone numbers there. So anyway, right now it's unset for what the phone number will be, so we'll go ahead and tap on it right here. Again, that's not my real phone number, so you guys, I don't really care. That's just a review unit, so I'm not going to worry about editing it out or anything. So anyway, you can actually call or email the person there, but you go in here and they actually type in a phone number and go ahead and hit modify, and now that's the phone number that will show when that person calls. So let's go, let's back out and let's test it out. Just use another phone here. You can see it kind of pops up very quickly there, but that's the phone number that's showing, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit decline, and there you go. Now let's look at fake calls. This is where you can set it up for your phone to ring at any given time of the day that you want, and it could be either in a meeting, you need to be, you want to be interrupted, or maybe you're on a blind date or something. So you go in here, and there's just a lot of different things that you can set up here. You can actually record your conversation as well. It's pretty cool. So now, so you can set your alarm time, and right now I'm just going to set it for 11:20. It's 11:16 right now, and go ahead and OK. You can change your ringtone. You can say, you know, do you want it to keep calling you until you pick up. You can have your phone number. You can grab it just like the other stuff from your contacts or your logs. I'm going to grab it from the contacts. I'm going to go ahead and edit again. Just go ahead and select the contact, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I selected the contact. And now you can actually hear, this is interesting, you can actually record a conversation, and you can import from your library if you have some, or from another robot call. But I'm going to go ahead and record a new one here, and I'll just show you how you do it. So you just press and speak and talk. Now this is something you don't have to do. You can even have a female voice on the other side if you want. Hey, what's going on? Do you think you can make that meeting tomorrow? Oh, perfect. We're going to meet at 7 a.m. And don't be late because I got another meeting at 8. And then, you know, there you go. You obviously want to pause a little bit in between because, you know, you're going to speak as well. And then you can pick a name for your recording, so you can always go back to it. So very cool. And you can also have multiple recordings in here to go up and down and then delete them. So that's what we're going to set. And that's pretty much it as far as, you know, the main settings. Now let's go ahead and change the alarm to 11:18 or 11:19. We'll make it. Just turned 11:18, and let's test it out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll edit till we get closer to that time here in the video. And 11:19, I should get this phone call. Well, it would help, guys, if I turned it on. I realized I didn't turn it on, so we're going to try it again for 11:20. Turn on. And there it is. So go ahead and hit answer.
What's going on?
There's the speaker.
Do you think you can make that meeting tomorrow? Oh, perfect. We're going to meet at 7 a.m.
So go ahead and end it. Now, if you're really brave, you can put it on speaker and try to do this, but I wouldn't recommend that. But so that's it pretty much in a nutshell. It's called Privacy Manager. Now, it's $4.99. It's a little pricey, but you get a lot. There is a light version, which I haven't been able to figure out everything that's different about it. I think on disguise calls, you're allowed one, but it pretty much lets you do most things. I'm not sure if it has the recorder in it. That's another thing I didn't show you here, but that you can set up a time to record anything that's going on. So you can set up the recording time and showing the status bar, and then you can stop the recording anytime you want. So you can have your phone on your desk and sit there and record. So so that's pretty much it. The light version is free, and that's it in a nutshell. It's called Privacy Manager. Definitely check it out. And again, thanks for watching. This is Rob Nazarian with Talk Android.